everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
Today we're covering the anime Tamako Market.
Now this wonderful and fun slice of life anime was requested to us by Sylvian14 quite a while back. And now we've finally seen the show and can't wait to talk about it.
But before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification buttons on future podcasts and other Paws videos.
Absolutely. And Sylvian, we thought we were going to be able to watch the movie because it was available on Anime Network when we first started watching this, but by the time we finished and went back, the movie was gone.
Right.
So once we do get access to the movie, we'll watch that as well.
Yeah, it'll just be a separate podcast for that instead.
Yeah, so this, as we mentioned, is a comedy, slice of life, anime, and it has 12 episodes. We saw it on Anime Network.
Yes.
And the manga that is based on, actually a light novel, was written by Masuki Ikanose.
And it's only 12 episode anime plus movie, and it's one of those short animes that you can really sort of binge or watch over a weekend, like watch some Saturday, some Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can get through it pretty quick. And it's such a fun and calm show that it almost don't feel like that the time is passing by when you go to each episode. They're just that engaging.
Really fun anime. The characters also are really fun. I think if we had tried to find out more about this before we watched it, we wouldn't have been sure what to think.
Yeah.
Especially the trailer that you'll be seeing. It is fun, and it doesn't really ever get serious.
Not really, no.
What's the great thing about it, there's such a base, or core I should say, of love between the characters and the community that they live in, and the area they live in, and all the merchants that are on Tamako's, in Tamako Market, I should say. And that's what makes this such an amazing anime to watch.
Right. And we watched this in Japanese, so we had to watch it sub, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment of it. It was still really fun to watch. It was really hilarious a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with the bird Dara, because he thinks he's like Puss in Boots and it's a hit with women. It's hilarious.
And I'm sorry, it's not Tamako Market. I guess it's called that after the main character, Tamako Shirakawa. I think I got it right, remembered it right. And she's the eldest daughter of the family that runs the Tamayamochi shop in the Usagiyama shopping district. I think I remember correctly. If I didn't, let me know in the comments below.
Yes. So it's really just these little odd happenings that happen in this marketplace. And at first you think it's like a big story coming. It really isn't. It's a subplot that comes in towards the end. There's a little bird, looks like a cockatoo to me, called Dara, and he's traveling to look for a princess. Cause he comes, right. He's traveling looking for a princess to bring back to the island he came from for the prince he served. And it looked like he had stopped to rest somewhere in Japan, and he ends up in this place. And he's supposedly continue his search, but when he starts eating all the mochi and all the human food, he don't want to leave. Pretty much. And he just
can't leave because he's eating so much. He's a fat bird ready for roasting.
Right. And he can't fly. And he's like that the whole series. He doesn't lose weight by the end. He's still round the entire anime because he won't stop eating the mochi. Even when the princess, the other princess comes in and tells him, like, you need to lose weight. You can barely fly. Somebody's able to fly later on. I guess his wings worked hard enough. But they keep telling you need to stop eating so much mochi. He doesn't stop eating.
Well, you have Choi Mochimatsu, I got it right at first, who ends up coming to find him.
Yes.
And she's the one helping to look for a bride for the prince.
Right.
And she talks about him so badly. And then the prince shows up, Mecha Mochimatsu.
Yes.
And it's so funny because in Japanese it means they don't like mochi, which is hilarious. And he doesn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's me. And he sucks in his stomach. He's like, oh my gosh, you've gotten so fat.
It's like when you always tell me about the raccoons and you say, why are they so big?
And Dara he thinks he's Puss in Boots.
Yes.
He's suave, and he thinks, let's put that there. He thinks he's suave. He thinks he's a lover. He thinks all the women want him, and he's so gorgeous and his plumage. And he tries to romance every female, whether they're a girl or a woman. He's a bird now. Remember this. Right. He's a bird. And it's so hilarious because most of them ignore him, and the ones that do like him, of course, treat him like a bird and pet him. And then when they're done talking to him, they walk away, and he's like, "Where are you going?
Yes.
Don't you love me? Don't
right.
you love me?"
And it says when you sneeze in his direction, it's a declaration of love. And they said, "What kind of rule is that?"
So the anime really just covers the day-to-day events that happen in the market and at the school with Tamako and her friends.
Yeah.
And you've got a friend that's moving away, and another friend has a crush on him. Then, of course, as always, she has a male friend who has a crush on her and has never told her in all of these years.
And they never do.
And then you also have a little twist with a female friend who also has a crush on her.
Yeah.
And she's trying to keep the male friend away from her.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Okay. And that ends up becoming a focus in one of the episodes when the male friend is trying to, like, okay, finally decide to tell her how he feels. And she and the girl just like make sure he doesn't do it so much. It's like he never even tried. By the time the day's over, the whole episode is like this. And ironically, these types of love triangles are a hit here in the West, so I'm surprised. Maybe because of the time it came out, this would be more popular now. They like when it's a guy and a girl like the same girl now. So yeah, this was a little bit ahead of its time at the time it was made.
Definitely. This originally aired in between January and March of 2013.
Yeah, definitely.
They just had a 10th anniversary. In Japan, they actually played the Tamako Market series as well as the Love Story movie. They screened them both in theaters in June as a celebration.
Cool.
And another thing that put them ahead of time is the florist who's in this movie. And the florist is Kaoru Hanase. And in English and in Japanese is voiced by a male. And the character looks beautiful, female, and you know that the person identifies as female.
You're right.
And that was definitely ahead of its time. But
Yeah.
what I really love about it is you're watching it and you don't care.
It's like,
and no one cares. It's just something you notice.
Yeah.
And then you go on.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like, oh, okay, this is on purpose. All right, and then you keep going.
And Kaoru is such a sweet character, so helpful, always giving people flowers. And that's another thing you really love about these merchants. As soon as someone shows up, they start giving them everything they're supposed to be selling.
Right.
They end up giving them some of everything they sell.
Right.
And making people feel so welcome they don't want to leave.
Right.
And they do the same for each other. Again, there's such love in this anime between the characters that are there that when Tamako ends up being chosen, which we knew was coming, to be a bride for the prince, she talks about in a speech, kind of like a flashback, where you're seeing all the reasons why she loves this place so much. And then you see even more of the love that she's had this whole time because she and her sister, the mom died quite a while ago, and the dad is rearing them. And you see that she absolutely adores it, and you can understand why she doesn't want to leave.
Right.
At, I think she's 12 or 13.
I think 13.
To marry the prince. Now, he's young too. We forgot to mention that the prince is also a kid. He's not an adult.
Right. Yeah, there actually aren't any 18-year-olds in this anime, which is a rarity, because usually you see they're close to 18 usually in other shows.
Right, but in here, he and Che, that's Choi. It's Che in Korean.
Okay.
Choi, that's helping him to find the bride, they're both kids as well. So there's no kid marrying an adult in here.
No, none of that.
All three of them are children, and that's why her friends are like, "Oh, you should go with him. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, I can't believe it."
Right.
And she's like, "Would you stop saying it? Would you stop saying it? I haven't decided. Would you stop saying it?"
Well, you know, in real life, yes, the answer would be yes. You're like, just pack up and go.
And during this anime, a year passes, and you know because at the beginning of the anime, there's New Year's Eve, and her birthday is on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets to give her a present, and then when they forget, they put her presents away and so they're going to give it to her next year.
Yeah.
And by the end of the anime, it's New Year's Eve again.
Right.
And this time she actually gets some presents.
Right.
So you understand it's taking place within a year time span.
Right. And it does it really well because it's not feeling like it's dragging on. None of the episodes feel like they're dragging on. We've seen in episode or two where some were just not as interesting as others. Like they were very mundane and stuff you had seen before, but that doesn't mean they were bad. It was just like, okay, this wasn't as fun as this one, or they were lacking Dara in a lot of scenes to make it even more fun. But it was still a good watch, all 12 episodes from beginning to end. And it didn't end the way we thought it was going to end, so I'm guessing you'll have a full conclusion with the movie.
Yes, definitely. And one other person I want to mention is you actually see an inspiration for Komi Can't Communicate in here, and it's Shiori Asagiri. And they didn't start off as friends. She's one of these characters that is looked at as beautiful. She's a member of the badminton team. She's knowledgeable, resourceful. She's serious. She's cool. And they don't understand that she doesn't make friends well because she's afraid to talk to people, just like Komi.
Right.
So you can see this is 2013. It was way ahead of Komi Can't Communicate. So you can see that she's inspiration. She's got the same dark hair and everything. And it's nice that she ends up being friends with Tamaya and her friends by the end of the anime.
Right. So this is definitely a really fun anime. We're glad that this was recommended to us by Sylvian, and we just had a really fun time watching it. It took us a little bit because we were watching lots of other animes at the same time, all of them short, but we did get to finish it, and like we said, we just need to watch the movie, which will be a separate podcast
and
now.
We can't wait because it's just a series of love stories.
Right.
So we can't wait to see that.
Right.
So if you've seen Tamako Market, let us know what you think in the comments below, especially you, Sylvian. Did you love it? Did you like it? Tell us what you think. There's no way you can hate this.
Right.
So we're not even going to say that. And if you haven't seen it, the only place we found it was on Anime Network. It was originally on YouTube to watch. And we found it and we're going to watch it, and all of a sudden we went back and it was gone.
Yeah.
So that's the only place we know it is. If you know it's available to watch anywhere else, I should say, let us know in the comments below.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and videos of your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us. And if you have a recommendation or request for us to cover, let us know in the comments below. We appreciate you so much. You are awesome, and you know it.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.